sounds like something's about to land on the top of my fucking house. Hey guys, today's video is a chatty get ready with me. I originally was going to film something entirely different today. I was going to talk about my YouTube journey and what I've learned in the past year. Yesterday was a year for me on YouTube, which is crazy. But I will be talking about that later on in the week. That will be coming on Saturday. Today, I woke up, I didn't feel like doing such a talk-heavy video, and I just decided I wanted to play in makeup. That's what I want to do most days. And I looked at everything that I have recently acquired in the makeup space, and it's all a collab. So I have the new Jackie Aina times ABH palette. I cannot wait to play with this. I also have the It Cosmetics times Dry Bar mascara. If you're not new here, you know how much I love Dry Bar. And then I also bought a couple of items from the new PÜR times Barbie collection. I got some lashes and a highlighter, so that's what we'll be testing out today, some first impressions. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, I look like a hot mess. I wanted to put a disclaimer here. I am editing this video and I'm going through and I'm realizing if you clicked on this video just for the makeup and the new collabs, I get into some heavy life stuff, dealing with relationships and ending them, specifically with parents. I will try to make that obvious in my thumbnail so you know what you're getting into, but if you came here just for the makeup, I do get into some heavy stuff. So here is your disclaimer and your trigger warning. If you click off, I totally understand. If you stick around, I hope you enjoy it. And yeah. Like I usually do, I already went ahead and primed my lids with the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I did not set it with powder, just for reference. That's how I usually do my lids. And then I also went ahead and did my brows just to save some time. I did something different with my hair today. I haven't washed it in a week. Tomorrow is a week. I always do that when I get fresh color. I try to put off washing it as long as I can. I feel like it makes a difference. I don't know if it actually does, if it's just like my silly brain. But I did this, I threw this little headband on, this little scarf bandana type thing. If you don't watch Sammy Jeffcoat, I definitely recommend her channel and her Instagram page. She does style videos, but then she also does little makeup tutorials, and I'd say she's like rocker chic meets elegant. She's so cute. But she just released a line of bandanas and they're pretty expensive and I want one. One of them specifically is named after an AFI song, so I feel like I kind of need it. But I decided to see if I could actually pull this off and would I wear it. So you'll have to let me know what you think below. I'll shut up. Let's talk about this palette. This packaging is so cool, and it definitely feels heavier than my other palettes. It's got like that prism effect on it with like a, I guess that's like a crocodile print. When I first saw this palette online, I love Jackie, and I wasn't sure if I was going to buy it just because I have so many palettes that I feel like I don't use, and I keep telling myself no more palettes, and then these companies keep releasing palettes that I want. Like, I can't help myself. I keep having to buy them. So I did pick it up after I saw it in store and I was able to swatch it. I knew I had to have it. The shade that made me change my mind about getting this palette was the sponsored shade. It's this beautiful duochrome, and I knew after swatching it that I was a goner. I had to have it. So I think I'm going to use that today for sure. And then I'm also going to start with ginger and edges. I'm thinking something kind of fallish today. It's actually overcast outside. I'm so excited. I'm wearing this hoodie and I don't have that stupid fan on right now. And I love that it's starting to get cool. I cannot wait for fall. I pretty much hate the sunshine. So let's go ahead and get started with the ginger shade. As for the brush I'm starting with, I'm going to use one of these cheapy little brushes from Amazon. I always refer to this set. It's called a Rose Beauty. I don't know if it's still around, but I love this little brush so much. It's actually dyed green from other shades that I've used. So I'm going to start with that, and I'm just going to place it onto my lid. It's a really pretty shade. I try not to watch too many other videos on this palette. I will go back and watch them later on just for inspiration, but I try to do that when there's a new release just so I don't take in too many other people's reviews and opinions before I form my own. And I'm just blending this out with the taper blending brush from Sigma. It's the E35. A couple of minutes ago, I definitely thought there were several planes flying in the sky. It was so loud, and I just realized it's my neighbor. There's some construction going over here. I think they are selling that house, so there is some construction going on. So if you guys hear any of that, please don't mind it. And one more time, I just placed a little bit more down, and then I am blending again before going in with a deeper shade, which is Edges. And now I'm gonna work edges into the mix with this smaller brush from that Amazon set. I'm just concentrating that on my outer lid and then working it up into my crease where I will blend it to meet the other shade. So as I mentioned earlier, yesterday was a year on my YouTube channel. I can't believe it. And actually the next video I film will be my 100th video. Really awesome. I have loved my time here, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in the next video that I do. But I also wanted to say August 26th is a big day for me for my own personal growth. Not only This is kind of hard to talk about. Not only did I start a YouTube channel, I also ended a very toxic relationship in my life on the same day, within a few hours of each other. And it's something I've never discussed here, and I thought maybe I should. Maybe there's some of you who have gone through something similar or are going through something similar and just kind of need to hear that somebody else has too. You're not alone. I think that's a beautiful thing that we can do for each other, is learn from each other and share our stories. So I don't have a relationship with my father. And I don't think I've ever said that here before. I've definitely talked about how I was raised by my aunt and uncle, and then also when I was really young, my grandfather, who is my father's father. I have talked about that before. My mom is very much in my life. We're very close. But I have never talked about my actual father. My family likes to call him sperm donor. It's kind of like our inside joke. We don't have a relationship. He was never my dad, so to speak. He was always like around. I always knew who he was, but he never had any part in raising me. I very rarely saw him when I was younger. He moved in with my grandfather when I was in my early 20s, and I was very close with my grandfather before he passed a couple years ago. I was very close with him. I still think of him every day, and I would visit him, but usually my father would be at work or whatever else, so I never saw him. Occasionally he would text me a couple times a year, but that was the extent of our relationship. And when my grandfather passed, of course I saw him, funeral, all of that kind of stuff, and taking things from my grandfather's house. I think that was the last time I actually saw him, but he started to text me regularly, about once or twice a month, but they were never texts that said, "How are you? How's your life? What's going on?" They were always like statements. "Hey, have a great day. Hey, happy birthday. Hey, happy holidays." Whatever else. They were never actually like concerned about me. I mean, he never has been. It was kind of like a smack in the face. The same week we got married, a couple days before, so this was almost 2 years ago, he sent me one of those texts, "Have a great day. XOXO, whatever else." I mean, it really pissed me off because this is someone who has never formed a relationship with me, and then all of a sudden they are saying just these statements of affection without there actually ever being any relationship or affection. You know what I mean? It was frustrating. So he sent one of those texts just a couple days before we got married, and it really pissed me off because obviously, I don't think he had any clue I was even getting married. If he did, it was because of my grandfather before he passed, and maybe there was a magnet or something on the fridge, but I don't think he realized he was texting me right before our wedding and didn't even know what was going on. And that was kind of my breaking point. I had already kind of been ignoring his texts for a couple months, and then I continued to. I had to stop to blend because I'm talking and not paying attention to my actual makeup. Any of these edges I will go ahead and I will clean up at the end. But anyway, do I want to cut my crease? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be cutting my crease. So I figured after a year of ignoring these texts, maybe he would get the point and he would either A, stop texting me, or B, he would realize that that's not enough, and call or ask me how I'm doing or ask me anything about my life, and he didn't. So I took Sponsored on a damp brush. This is my Sigma Cut Crease brush, and I dampened it with my Colourpop All-Star setting spray because I'm panning it. But yeah, I figured after a year of ignoring him, maybe he would get the hint.
he didn't. And I am not one to ignore people. Like, I hate being ignored. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves, but I won't ignore someone else. Usually, you really have to piss me off to make me do that. For the most part, like, I have such like a fear around not answering people. And I am the person who will text you back like right away unless I'm at work or something like that. But I don't like having that looming over my head. So I pretty much always respond unless you've made me angry. So I decided to take it into my own hands, and I didn't when I was younger because A, it's hard, and B, because I didn't want to hurt my grandfather's feelings. So I never confronted my father for that reason. And then after my grandfather died, I knew it would have to come at some point, and my father wouldn't be the one to initiate the conversation, that I would have to be the one. So on the same day that I started this channel, I sent him a letter in the mail. And I'm not going to get super into the details of that letter, but I basically said, should I get off the pot? Like, either have a relationship with me or don't. Like, what you're doing now is not a relationship. It's fake, it's phony. And when we have kids one day, this will not be acceptable. And dropping that letter in the mailbox, I just felt so free. It's something I had waited to do for 30 years. And I had really big balls that day. I sent that letter, and then I uploaded my first video, and that was really scary too. And August 26th is a day I won't forget for those two reasons. I feel like I'm not concentrating on this makeup at all. I'm sorry, guys. But I thought it would be important to talk about because like I said, I never have, and some of you guys might be going through it too, or have strained relationships with your guardians, your parents, whomever else, and it's good to hear somebody else has gone through it. So as far as what happened after I sent that letter in the mail, I never heard back from him. The text stopped. I have not heard from him since. And in a way, that's great. Great because if I had to work on a relationship with him, and I had to work on, I don't want to say forgiving him because I'm pretty over it, but trusting him, that would have been really hard. So it's easier to just not have him in my life because I never really have. So I don't want any kind of sympathy or empathy. I don't want anything like that because for me, I have my uncle. My uncle is my father. He always has been. He's always treated me as his own. Try not to cry. And then I've also had my grandfather, and he spoiled the hell out of me while he was living, and I was like he loved me. I mean, I was like his reason for living. Like, he loved me that much. He told me that all the time. So don't feel bad for me. I've had so much love in my life. I've had so much support, and don't give me any empathy because there's so many people out there who don't have that. There's so many people who don't have someone who stands up and takes the place of a parental unit. That doesn't happen for a lot of people. But I really wanted to talk about this just to say, I know it's hard to end toxic relationships, and I can only speak for myself. I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying like, oh yeah, it's easy, because it's not. It took me 30 years to do. It was a really tough decision to do, but doing it made me feel so much better. And even now I can still feel like I can breathe a little bit easier. And yeah, that's it. I mean, that got real. I don't know if it's weird to talk about, but I wanted to. It's my channel. I usually don't get that personal, and I feel like I need to start because it's the beautiful thing about doing something like this is that other people can connect to you. When I watch, say, Raw Beauty Christy or whoever else, and she talks about what she's going through mental health wise, and I'm like, oh yeah, me too, girl. Like, I'm not by myself, and it's a beautiful thing to share our human experiences with each other, and I got to get better at doing that. I need to get better at doing that, and also being able to do my makeup because I kind of forget what I'm doing when it comes to makeup, and I'm pretty sure I've laid this shadow down about 8 times now. I can't stop looking at that shade. I'm going to go ahead and I may add some black liner, but I'm definitely going to add these lashes off of camera. I'm not the greatest at applying lashes, especially ones like this. I mean, these are extra. Let me show you guys. I love the pure, just regular lashes, the style Diva. I love them so much. I just said in my last video I had to buy another pair because when I was washing them on like my second or third use, one of them went down the drain. So I had to rebuy them. I love them that much. But this is what these look like. Well, I was trying to show you. There is the style. They are very beautiful, but they are very long, a little bit more than I usually do. So I'm going to attempt to put these on, maybe add some liner, and I will be right back. Psych, I was doing my liner and I was like, you have a mascara to review, you ding dong, before you put these lashes on. So I'm gonna try out this first before I put on the lashes. There is a fly flying around my room and my dog is trying to protect me and catch it. So you may hear some of that. The fly may make an appearance in the background. He's annoying the shit out of me right now. So this mascara, full disclosure, I got this in gratis from work. I didn't actually pay for this mascara. I just want to mention that. But it is designed after a dry bar brush, which I think is so cool. I love dry bar. And this is my first IT Cosmetics mascara for sure that I've tried. I really haven't tried too many of their products. I'm going to brush down first. Just what I usually do. And then apply. I think their superhero mascara is what it's called. That one's really popular. The only thing that usually I do false lashes and then I do mascara afterwards, but I've been trying to switch it the other way around. That way the lashes aren't as dirty when I go to clean them. But the only thing is, by the time I've done my lashes and all of my face, I always forget bottom lash mascara. So you guys gotta remind me, okay? I think that looks pretty nice. They definitely look fanned out and separated, which I like. I actually mentioned this in my last video too, is my bottom lashes, not my bottom, the bottom part of my top lashes, these right here in the outer corner, always tend to grow down and they actually will get stuck to my bottom lashes once I put mascara on. So if I can find a mascara that helps keep them lifted, I will be very happy. I'm gonna go ahead and test out the lashes now. I will be right back. These lashes are so beautiful and they're a little bit extra, but I love them. I usually will take my lashes out of the package and kind of measure them to see where I should cut or how much I should cut off the end. And I didn't do that because I'm getting hangry. So I know next time that I need to cut these because it's a little bit too much in my inner corner. They're getting a little bit scratchy. But anyway, let's move on. I'm going to prime the rest of my face. I'm going to be using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I absolutely love this for hydration. And then also the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. This is the best thing to help conceal pores. I wanted to tell you guys, as far as the lashes go, not this style because I believe these are limited edition. Actually, I know they're limited edition, but they're other styles. They have Diva and then two others. They're going to be on Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. I already marked it in my calendar which date. I can't remember right now, but it should be on Trend Moods page. I would definitely recommend them. I love their lashes. This primer just gives like the perfect amount of tackiness where you know your foundation's really gonna stick. And then some of the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer on my nose. I also like to put it in my little creasy area and then on my chin. And then for foundation, I have to be careful with all of these little hairs. I'm using the PÜR Love Your Selfie Foundation. You could probably guess it's pretty much the only foundation I have been reaching for. I'm going to use it with the sponge today because my brush, I did not sit down in front of me. But I love the coverage this gives and then just the way it makes my skin look, of course. It also wears really well. I don't think I've ever used a foundation that has matched me as well as this one does. A lot of times foundations can look a little bit too yellow on me, and this one is just like the perfect balance. I feel like I have such a small head. Anytime I do a bandana or a headband of any type, it feels like it's going to just snap back like a rubber band and come off my head. That's how I'm feeling right now. I keep having to adjust it. I really have no clue how to transition after I got way too much. After what I was just discussing. This is the Tarte Shape Tape in Light. If I don't remember to If I don't remember to say what a product is, I will have it listed down below. I put way too much of this on. I have gotten so used. Hello, fly. I feel like Wayne Goss. You guys don't watch him. He is the cutest man on earth. I love him so much in his little wink. But he had a series of videos where there was always a fly in his room and he would talk to it. But anyway, what was I saying? I had gotten so used to using the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer that I added way too much of this one on. So I'm just going to really have to pounce that out. So I really didn't say this much here or on social media because I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm alone for any of the creeps out there. But my husband just got back from South Carolina a couple days ago. He was away for work for 2 weeks. The longest we have ever been apart from each other is 2 days when he went away for his bachelor party. I almost always say bachelorette party. So that was the longest we have ever been apart from each other. So it was really weird. The house was very quiet. Even when he's home and we're not really like hanging out or doing anything together, he always has music blaring or the TV blaring. And it was just extra quiet when he wasn't here. Of course, I missed him immensely. It was just kind of a nice reminder when he left how upset I got, how much I love him. Sometimes you need those reminders. They always say absent makes the heart grow fonder. So it was a nice reminder of that. But yeah, I missed him and it was so weird coming home to just Lucy. I'm so used to having him here. I'm going to go ahead and just smoke out the under eye. I'm going to use ginger again as well as edges. And then I'm going to go in with edges on a flat definer brush from Sigma. And add that more to the outer part of my lower lash line. Yes, I was very excited for him to come home. When you're used to, being with someone and having someone around, it's been 5 years since I've been single, so I really wasn't used to the quiet. And I really did the worst thing I could have done, which is what I always do, and I listened to true crime. I basically cleaned our whole house from top to bottom while he was away, and in doing that, I listened to My Favorite Murder a lot, and I listened to like the most terrifying one I could have listened to while I was alone. And I'm adding some of the CEO brown liner from Milk. I just kind of stabbed my eye a little bit. I love this formula. I now have 3 of these. They just wear really well. They go on, they glide on. And I'm taking that flat definer brush again with the shade Edges and just smudging out some of the liner. While I'm using this, I should mention my Wet n Wild bronzer, the one I'm currently panning, also has a little baby pan in it. It's tiny, it's a little speck, but it's growing. I've been using this every day since I started that project. Oh, I almost forgot. Bottom lash mascara. I will do my blush and highlight after this. I also did some productive things. I cleaned the whole house, like deep cleaned from top to bottom, and it feels so good now. I love just sitting downstairs with a candle and a cozy blanket. Not that it was like awfully messy before, but just, how it feels when you just clean everything, like when you make your bed and everything looks nice and sharp and crisp. It's only gonna stay like that for a couple days, but it just really feels good. I also watched all of Queer Eye, the newest season, and I cried at every single episode. If you haven't watched Queer Eye, even if you've watched the old one, it's so different. Like the formula is a little bit the same, but the personalities are different. I feel like these guys just get along with each other so well. They really do have like an organic chemistry. Even if they were hired to do the show, they really seem like they're good friends. And also there's just a lot more emotion put into them. Like I cry at every single one. There hasn't been a single one I haven't cried at some point. I wanted to keep my blush pretty neutral, even though this is more pinky. This is from the Jouer palette. This one is the Adore Me blush duo. I really want the new one. I think it's called Rose Gold. That's the newish one, but I haven't picked that up yet. So this one is what I use for now. And then I want to check out this Barbie highlighter. Now this, I gotta be honest, I'm not like a Barbie collector or anything, although they just came out with a David Bowie Barbie. It's a $50. I'm pretty sure I need it. If it's not sold out, I gotta check that out. But this one, I bought this just for the packaging. It is so cute. So I'm gonna open it. It's got like a texture to it that's like a mosaic, I guess you would call it. And then when you open it, and you get 3 different shades in the pan, I'm probably going to mix the first 2, the lighter frostier one, or the pink one, and the lighter frostier one that's right up top. Like very light, and like not super strong and artificial, but like just a hint of coconut. If you have this, you gotta let me know if you smell the same thing or if I'm just imagining it. Okay, this, wait a second. Is that glitter? There's a little bit of glitter in it. So I'm gonna dip more into the pink and a little bit of the frosty shade. There it is. I didn't really see much at first. So I'm solely now using the pink one. The frosty one scares me a little bit. It looks like it's very glittery. I don't have a highlight that's quite this pink. And I'm going to spray everything down before I do my lips with the Catrice Prime and Fine. And then I just went in with a little bit of the Morphe Continuous Mist Setting Mist. I want the strawberry one, so I'm trying to use this one up. I have another one, but I'm telling myself I have to use this before I get the strawberry. I also, in between, I added some of this, the Colourpop Another Round. Yeah, that's what it's called, Another Round Lippie Pencil, before I go in with this. So this is from Charlotte Tilbury. I tried this out in my last video. It's the JK Magic lipstick. It is so pretty. I tried this the next day as well, so this will be my 3rd time. It is so beautiful. I love the way this makes my lips look. They look like soft and hydrated. As far as wear goes, I wore this the other day to work, and I wouldn't say that it wore any more or less than another lipstick. It didn't like have lasting power, like it stayed on for 8 hours, but it wore down pretty normally. It didn't get weird at the end either. It didn't make my lips feel dry. They just look so healthy and moisturized, maybe even a little bit less than they did the last time because I had the liner underneath, but I still really love the color, and I like the way my lips look. I'm gonna have to buy more. That's it for my Get Ready With Me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too weird. I know I got a little bit personal, but like I said, I've been wanting to do that on my channel. As far as what I tried, completely jumping over to another topic, as far as what I tried, I really liked the palette. Of course, it's my first impression, and I only did use a couple of shades. I'm going to be doing some other looks soon. Look forward to seeing that on my Instagram, or if you want to see me do another look here, let me know below. I really liked the lashes, the PÜR lashes. Like I said, I just needed to cut them. The mascara was really nice. Maybe I will update you guys on that. I have to see how it wears throughout the day, if it holds the curl, and then also too if it flakes or anything like that. But so far, everything was cool. The highlighter looks really pretty. So that's it for my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe if you really enjoyed it. I thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.